Hello, Pisces. Welcome in. My name is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot, and this is going to be a timeless tarot reading for all of my Pisces collective. Keep in mind, this is for any major Pisces placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. So if the message doesn't resonate, do check your other signs and placements. I always like to talk about my meditative insights that come through when tapping into the Pisces collective. And then I like to jump in with the cards. So stick around, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, and share the video, especially if you're resonating with the message. But I do feel this overwhelming sense of having to face a challenge or some obstacles. Pisces, I just want to say you will persevere. You will persevere. I just was shown somebody weighing pros and cons when it comes to the Libra scales of balance. So you could be dealing with a Libra. You could have major Libra placements in your birth chart. But I feel you've weighed the pros and cons for a long time, and it's now time to make a decision. And I feel this is very discomforting. I think this is making you feel very uneasy, but I do feel you need to make a decision right here, right now. And so it's almost like a double-edged sword. So I don't know what exactly is going on here, if you're like in the middle of trying to complete a breakup, but I just feel like there's this big overwhelming sense of a lack of closure, and you need to lighten the load on the heart considerably is what it feels like. And so maybe you don't have a full understanding of what it is that you really want in a relationship. But I do feel you're going to need to take some time to yourself before looking for another soulmate again. And so I do feel like maybe you went into a relationship and it started off a little bit casual, and maybe there was some emotional benefits, and maybe you got hooked and the other person wanted less than what you wanted. But I do feel there's something here about the truth coming out, especially if you've questioned maybe your partner's fidelity. There could be some infidelity coming out, but I do feel it's like a separation because you don't really share the same goals, and that's really what I felt in the energy. So let's jump in a little bit further with the cards, and let's see what else needs to come through for you, Pisces. And I chose the Astro Star Codes Oracle deck, so we'll see what else needs to come through. But I feel you need to find your courage to leave a situation behind that really isn't benefiting you. And so it almost feels like a connection here that is very transactional. So yeah, Saturn and Jupiter. And so Saturn is saying, hey, I feel there's a Queen of Wands energy coming through here, and we get a King and Queen of Wands energy is what it feels like. And so maybe it's time to go towards expanding beyond some type of karmic cycle. Saturn is all about karma. It's all about structure. And so there's something here I feel that needs to be dealt with. I feel a very karmic soulmate coming through. And I just feel like the truth is going to come out. So Jupiter is asking you to expand Pisces energy. We've got Jupiter in Gemini right now. And so if you're a Pisces sun or a moon, Pisces energy would be squaring it up with that Gemini and Jupiter. And so there's definitely this energy of persevering through some type of tower. But let's get a few of these cards out and let's see what else needs to come through for you. If you would like to book a more personalized message, Pisces, please feel free to check the link below in the description box or in the comment section. There you will find the link to my webpage if you would like to book a more personalized message. But what do we got here? We got the trine energy. It says symbiosis. And so it's almost like, look at all of the threading. I feel you need a Queen of Swords, a situation here. You need to get really honest about a situation. Maybe you need to finally find the courage to leave and speak up on your behalf. And there's that debilitated, discomforting energy that I felt. And so 14, this is about freedom. You've got a big choice here to make. I do feel you've been at the crossroads maybe for a while now. There could be some karmic debt here that needed to be paid off. I do feel it's time to kind of clean up. It's time to clear your mind. It's time to really get your mental well-being in check. I do feel there's a lot of worrying here. And so something is getting worse before it gets better here. And then we get the third house. So 1441, there's some type of mirroring situation going on here. So you need to clear up some communication blocks, and you could be dealing with a Leo. You could have Leo in your chart. But I feel despite it all, it's like you're having a hard time with some type of breakup. That's really what it feels like. You're having a hard time with some type of breakup, maybe because you're connected to like a social group. But I do feel there's something about a whole community here. There could be addictions. There could be a lot of partying going on here. I feel there's a lot of energy of like, hey, you got to find your voice. You got to find your roar. And so there could be a breakdown of a false foundation for sure. Maybe this already started back in Leo season. But there's a big fall energy here. There's a need to recognize some type of past pattern. The seventh house is all about one-on-one relationships. This is an invitation to understand your relationship to yourself. Maybe you're dealing with the King of Cups. You could be dealing with another water sign. But I do feel this person really likes to create a lot of challenges. And so there is something connected to the past here that is creating a lot of tension. And so what come in maybe feeling very good at first is now becoming very uncomfortable. I feel some type of like emotional enmeshment, and there's going to be an argument. There's going to be some type of tension here, and you are encouraged to speak up. And so if you want to break yourself free, you're going to have to find the courage to speak up and leave a situation behind. Let's go a little bit further with the Angel Wisdom Tarot deck. Just remember, Pisces, I'm not here to tell you what to do. These cards certainly aren't here to tell you what to do. Just take this reading as an opportunity to step into your power. But let's see what else needs to come through with the tarot. We get the Four of Swords upright, and we get the Queen of Cups in reverse. And so I do feel you've likely self-sacrificed in a connection here. That's you, Pisces, in reverse. And so maybe you need to stop filling other people's cups. Maybe you need to stop self-sacrificing. Maybe it's time for you to receive some deep intuitive psychic insights and to rest. I do think you are mentally exhausted. You know you need to make a big decision here. Maybe you need to get some more sleep, but you really need to listen to those intuitive insights. You need to stop being overly reliant on other people's advice. I think you got to let your mind kind of take over here. You can't be overly emotional when it comes to this decision, because I think you've given it your all and you've not been trusting that intuition when it comes to the insights that have been coming in. And so allow yourself a little bit of rest and then make this very uncomfortable decision. But I do feel, I think you've got a lot of feelings for this person, and maybe the feelings aren't mutual. But let's get into it. Let's do 9 of these cards, Pisces. And let's see what needs to come through for you. Messages for Pisces, please. What do we got for Pisces? We get the 8 of Swords. And so it's like, yeah, you feel entrapped in a situation. It's an illusion. You can walk through the doorway of a new situation. You got to get honest here. So the gate holds the 7 of Swords, and she's walking towards that sword of truth. And so there's some type of lying here. There could be infidelity. There could be the truth coming out about a cheating partner. But I do feel you're stuck in a situation basically because you're lacking the confidence to leave a situation behind. You have the power to take back control of your life. If you're feeling helpless, if you're afraid to take action, you and only you are responsible for your life, Pisces, because you are at a crossroads. And that's right below this very discomforting, debilitating choice that needs to be made. And so you and only you can take those next steps. You have to choose to partner with people who match you, who share your dreams, who share the same values and visions as you. And so you are being encouraged to make a choice to move forward, to expand beyond a certain cycle. And maybe it's going to feel like a huge loss. But I feel also like you're blocking your blessings. Maybe the two of you jumped into something and bought a house together, and that's not going to be for everybody. I'm just saying. But this could mean walking away from it all. We get the 3 of Coins in reverse. And so there's a need to take responsibility when it comes to a situation that I feel you just don't love it anymore. You're really not in it anymore. And so it's like, you know, you'll be better off if you choose to move forward. But it's like you're not quite sure yet with the 4 of Swords as the central energy. And so you really need to rest. You need to quiet the mind. You need to receive these insights, meditation. And we get a realignment here with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And so all of the pentacles are in reverse, which are a clear indication of a lack of self-worth, a lack of self-value. And maybe you've just been working too hard to try to bring balance into a relationship here where this person is just not meant to partner well with you. And so it's like you're juggling, or you could be dealing with somebody juggling two people. Absolutely, with the Knight of Wands in reverse coming out, Pisces. And there you are. You're getting a wake-up call. I think you're seeing this situation in a whole new light. So there's something about a reflection here. There's something about this person reflecting back to you your deepest, darkest wounds, which has really hindered your self-confidence. And I do feel maybe you did jump into a relationship because it was passionate. But something here is kind of turned a little bit dry when it comes to intimacy. And so I think you're awakening to see this situation in a whole new light. And maybe it's taken you 4 years to get to this truth coming to light. And then we get the Five of Cups in reverse. So this is a need to stop focusing on the negative. Stop focusing on what isn't working out and focus on what is going to work out. Find the hidden blessing in this realignment, because there you are, watering a dead tree, pretending you're happy and being overly reliant on other people's advice. And I do feel there's an ending here. I do feel there's a very painful ending here. And so I heard deceit. So I think somebody's been deceiving you. Maybe you put all your eggs in one basket here, and there's going to be some type of melodramatic reaction when you speak up and you get out of this situation. But I do feel you're recognizing a new opportunity for happiness. And so it's like you're finally ready to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But you're going to have to face these challenges. You're going to have to bring a situation to an end with somebody that I feel that you really can't trust here. And so you need to develop your intuitive insights. You need to develop your intuition, because I think you have been receiving clues and messages from the divine, and you've got to turn inward. And so you've carried a very heavy burden on your shoulders here, Pisces. And it's like, hey, you're watering a dead tree. You're being patient. You're hoping for results. But it's like, hey, the seed wasn't planted well. You maybe thought this was wish fulfillment, but I think there was an unwise choice here. And now it's time to lay down the burden. Maybe it's time to admit, hey, I made a mistake. I didn't choose very wisely. This person really doesn't have much integrity. I think you're dealing with like a Tinder swindler. I don't know where that's coming from, but you got to have faith. I do think there's a relationship here that is causing you all kinds of health problems, stress problems, mental health issues. And it's really time to create balance into your life. So why are you clinging to something that needs to die away, that needs to end? Because I do feel this person is holding you back. What's the Four of Swords? What are these insights? What are these insights coming in? Transformation. Spirit is saying, hey, it's time to create change. This has been a very significant soul contract as part of your awakening in order for you to create the changes that need to be made. And so there's going to be a revelation here that's going to break you free from a false foundation. I do feel it's rooted in an old belief system, and there you are, clinging. And so there is a need to move on. There's a need to stop clinging and trying to seek answers from this experience that I feel has blocked your spiritual journey, has blocked you from going towards wish fulfillment. And so you have to choose to make these changes. You have to choose to leave this situation, or the universe is going to throw you out. And there's that epiphany. And I do feel something about Leo season brought in some truth. And you now need to take those next steps to speak up. I do think this is about just being blunt, communicating what it is that you need to communicate. And I do feel it's going to be a very challenging conversation, but this is part of your transformation journey. And so you kind of got to just look at the hidden blessing here. Everything always happens for a reason. So what's the Five of Cups reversed? I think you're just getting out of a state of lack so you can go towards emotional contentment. Yeah, we get the Five of Wands upright. And so there's a conflict here. I do feel there's a conflict, maybe because of a social group. I think there's been a lot of opposing opinions getting in the mix when it comes to a relationship, and that's third party. You need to walk away from the drama. You need to walk away from something that's not worth your time, that's created you a lot of emotional discomfort. This is about standing up for yourself. Yeah, and saying, hey, I know there's a better way. And so there's something very toxic here. I feel some type of deep, deep soul tie or trauma bond here, and you need to recover, because I do think this is creating like mental illness. I really do feel like a mental illness here. So you're encouraged to stop investing in a situation here. Stop investing in this. Find your passion to go your own way. This is about igniting a fire within you. You can't control other people, but you can control the choices that you make. You can control the path that you want to take. And so there's nothing you can't do, Pisces, if you choose to believe in yourself. So I think somebody here has really underestimated you, but you better make a choice or the rug's going to get pulled out from under you, because you're in an illusion of entrapment here, and you're dealing with the devil. You're dancing with the devil here. There's something here very toxic that felt really good at first, but I do feel this is about you taking responsibility for your life. You got to break the chains of a very addictive, unhealthy pattern within a relationship. And so there is a need to face a bad judgment call. I do feel there's no reconciling this relationship. There's no getting back together. This is about you showing yourself compassion, forgiving yourself for not seeing the truth sooner, and trusting in your heart of hearts. You know what it is that you need to do if you want wish fulfillment. So I just feel you got to find your confidence. You got to find your confidence to see this situation in a whole new light, to embrace your uniqueness and to break free. And maybe there was a lack of planning for long term, but I do feel there's a block from abundance because of this past choice. And you get to decide what is next. You always get to decide what is next, Pisces. So let's close it off with the wisdom of the oracle message. But you could be dealing with another Pisces. I see Capricorn. I see Leo. I see Gemini. I see Aquarius here. You could be dealing with any of the signs. But look at that. There's a never-ending story here. And so it's like one step forward, two steps back. And you probably do love this person, but I think time's up when it comes to a cycle. Are you ready to lay down a burden? I think this has been a very heavy burden. And so it's the never-ending story over and over and over again. And so it's kind of time to clean up this mess. It's time to boss up. It's time to take charge. It's time to complete a lesson. It's time to learn the lesson so you can clean it up and move on. So what's the closing message for Pisces here? What's the closing message for Pisces? Unfinished symphony. And there you are, thinking, thinking, thinking. So I think you've thought a long time about this, and you are without a doubt at a fork in the road here. You got a big decision to make, Pisces, and so you got to get out of your head and you got to just make this decision. And I do feel an underlying Four of Cups. It's like you're bored. You're discontent. This situation is suppressing your true soul's desires. And we've got this unfinished symphony. And so there's a lesson here that you're not learning that needs to reach completion. And you do have a big decision to make here to get yourself unstuck. So let's read the unfinished symphony card. I believe that came through in the daily earlier today. But let's read unfinished symphony. This is saying there's unfinished business and an incomplete lesson. Maybe there's a lack of closure, and so it's time to tie up these loose ends. You are near completion of a big time relationship cycle, and so it's time to master this lesson. Before you can move forward, it's time for you to come to terms with where you are now, what you've created, and then practice radical acceptance to close out a cycle. I do feel this has been a cycle that's been very emotional. I think there's been a lot of psychological abuse here, maybe in a relationship, and it's time to create that closure. I don't think this person is going to give you the answers that you're seeking. And so how can you finally end a cycle that has been long past overdue for completion? And so this is about achieving something very difficult. Moving on is hard. I'm hearing that Cranberry song. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? So something's been lingering and something has been left unsaid. And so there's an opportunity for you to create closure with somebody that I feel doesn't have a lot of care for you, doesn't have a lot of concern for you. And I think you've persevered through this cycle. And so I just think it's time to love yourself. Be clear about maybe the unresolved issues, but it's time to close the door on the past so you can set yourself free. It's time to set yourself free, and only then can you really choose to blossom. And so I think there's a situation here that's riddled with self-sabotaging behaviors. I don't think this person has your best interest at heart, Pisces. And it's time for you to stop overthinking it and to just go forward. And that's kind of what I got for you, Pisces. So I really hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out that description box below, Pisces. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.